The spread of schedules, rumors, and speculative leaks has created an atmosphere that feels both electric and inevitable. This situation deserves more than just a casual glance, because what is at stake here is larger than just a set of concert dates. It involves Jungkook's status as a global icon, the pressure on HYBE to deliver an unparalleled production, the expectations of millions of fans, ARMY and beyond, and the broader impact such a tour would have on the music industry. By breaking down the elements behind this growing discussion, we can understand why so many believe that if Jungkook steps onto the stage as a solo act, the event will not only mark a milestone in his career, but also create shockwaves across entertainment worldwide. IT began quietly. A few posts circulated on fan forums and Twitter-like platforms suggesting that leaked schedules indicated Jungkook's solo world tour would be announced before the end of the year. Soon after, larger entertainment outlets began picking up the chatter, adding layers of industry insider commentary that fueled the rumor. Whether these early posts were authentic leaks, intentional teasers, or simple fan hopes did not matter anymore. The spark had been lit'd. Today's interconnected digital space, a single rumor can snowball into a global conversation within hours. For Jungkook, the effect was magnified by his stature as not just a BTS member, but also an artist who has, over the last 2 years, carved out an independent identity. His singles, collaborations, and international appearances have positioned him as a figure who could easily carry an entire tour on his own. Fans took the speculation further by creating mock-up posters, designing potential set lists, and analyzing possible venues where Jungkook might perform. In some ways, they built the idea of the tour into existence through collective imagination. This reveals the unique relationship between Jungkook and his audience, an organic connection where fans don't just consume but also actively shape the narrative around his career. For HYBE, the company managing BTS and Jungkook's solo activities, this wave of speculation is both an opportunity and a responsibility. On one hand, it demonstrates the unmatched demand for Jungkook as a solo performer. On the other, it creates pressure. If fans already expect a world tour, HYBE must consider how failing to deliver might create disappointment, even if the original rumor was not official. But HYBE is not unfamiliar with large-scale projects. BTS tours have set industry standards for stage design, production value, and global reach. Jungkook's potential solo tour would require the same, if not greater, attention. Unlike group concerts, a solo tour would shine a singular spotlight on Jungkook, demanding creativity in how his story, voice, and artistry are presented to millions. Industry analysts have pointed out that a Jungkook solo tour could redefine solo activities within K-pop. While other idols have toured individually, none possess Jungkook's combination of vocal ability, dance mastery, international name recognition, and cultural relevance. A well-executed tour would not just be entertainment. It would be an industry statement. One of the key reasons fans are treating this rumor almost like a confirmed reality is because of the natural trajectory of Jungkook's career. Over the last year, his solo tracks have dominated international charts, his collaborations with Western artists have broken records, and his presence in fashion and brand endorsements has expanded his reach far beyond traditional K-pop boundaries. To fans, a tour is not just a possibility, it feels like the next logical step. They point to the success of BTS members' individual projects, from album releases to smaller-scale performances, as evidence that HYBE understands the importance of spotlighting each member. Jungkook, as the youngest yet one of the most globally recognized members, represents an especially strong candidate for a large-scale solo venture. ARMY, known for their unparalleled loyalty and organizational strength, have amplified this sense of inevitability. Online campaigns have trended hashtags daily, fan clubs have started saving funds for potential tickets, and regional ARMY groups have even speculated which cities Jungkook is most likely to visit. The collective energy feels less like fans waiting for an announcement and more like fans preparing for an event they already believe will happen. If Jungkook does launch a solo tour, the implications extend far beyond fandom excitement. The global music industry would need to pay attention. Here's why. Redefining the solo standard in K-pop idols often perform as groups, with solo ventures usually framed as side projects. A Jungkook world tour would shift that narrative, showing that a K-pop artist can fill stadiums worldwide independently, just as global pop stars do. Market expansion beyond BTS has already proven its dominance, But Jungkook's solo tour could expand the market by appealing to audiences who may not identify as ARMY, but recognize him through his collaborations, fashion presence, or viral performances. Economic ripple effects. BTS tours have been shown to generate significant revenue for local economies, from tourism and hospitality to retail and transport. A Jungkook solo tour would likely have similar, if smaller, effects, reaffirming K-pop status as not just cultural but economic power. Setting new records based on past metrics, it is reasonable to assume that tickets would sell out instantly, streaming platforms would see spikes in related content, and merchandise would generate impressive numbers. Analysts have even speculated that a Jungkook solo tour could rival some of the biggest Western artists' global tours in scale. Beyond logistics, economics, and industry standards, there lies the deeper question: why does this matter so much to fans? For ARMY, Jungkook represents more than just a performer. He is seen as someone who has grown before their eyes, from the youngest member of BTS to an artist capable of commanding the global stage. A solo tour, therefore, is not just a concert series. It is a shared milestone between artist and audience. Many fans feel that after years of supporting Jungkook in group contexts, they now want the chance to experience his artistry in its purest, most personal form. The intimacy of a solo performance, where every song and every stage moment revolves around him, promises a deeper connection. Fans speak of wanting to repay Jungkook for the inspiration and comfort he has provided over the years by filling arenas and singing back his lyrics. This emotional bond explains why speculation has transformed into insistence. For ARMY, waiting is no longer passive. It is active anticipation, a form of collective energy that pushes both Jungkook and HYBE closer to making this a reality. Over the years, Jungkook didn't just meet those expectations, he surpassed them. His live performances revealed a voice that was not only technically strong, but emotionally resonant. His dance evolved into a blend of precision and fluidity, capable of adapting to any concept BTS explored. And beyond the stage, his charisma and relatability connected deeply with fans across cultures. Now, a decade later, the idea of a solo tour is not merely a rumor. It feels like the culmination of a journey that began with a young boy from Busan and has transformed into a man recognized globally for his artistry. At the core of Jungkook's appeal lies his voice. Critics and vocal coaches alike have praised his tone, clear, smooth, and capable of conveying vulnerability and strength in equal measure. In a group context, his voice often acted as the anchor of BTS's songs. In a solo setting, however, it would carry the entire emotional weight of the performance. A solo tour would highlight the full range of Jungkook's vocal ability. From high-energy tracks that demand stamina to emotional ballads that bring silence to a stadium, his setlist could become a showcase of versatility. Fans already know his ability to deliver live without relying heavily on backing tracks, something that sets him apart even in a global industry often criticized for overproduction. For Jungkook, a tour is not just about singing songs live. It is about creating moments where his voice alone can hold tens of thousands of people in rapt attention. That is not just performance, it is mastery. If his voice is the heart, then his dancing is the pulse. Jungkook has long been admired for his ability to execute choreography with both sharpness and fluidity, blending technical perfection with natural rhythm. A solo tour would allow him to design performances that fully integrate singing and dancing, a feat that requires immense stamina and precision. Unlike many soloists who focus on one element, Jungkook embodies the duality of vocalist and dancer. His ability to maintain vocal stability while executing demanding choreography is one of the reasons fans believe he can handle a world tour. Each stage moment, whether an explosive dance break or a quiet moment with a guitar, would highlight a different side of his artistry. Stage presence, too, is something Jungkook has honed through years of experience. Even when surrounded by 6 other members, he has always stood out. Not by overshadowing, but by drawing attention naturally. Alone, his presence would need to expand to fill entire arenas, and fans believe he is ready for that challenge. A tour is not just about technical performance, it is about connection. And this is where Jungkook's bond with ARMY becomes central. From the earliest days of BTS, Jungkook was often described as shy, someone who relied on his older members for confidence. Over time, fans watched him grow into someone who could command a stage with ease, yet still maintain the humility and sincerity that made him relatable. This shared journey is why ARMY feels so invested in his solo career. They see themselves reflected in his growth, from uncertainty to confidence, from youth to maturity. A solo tour would not just be concerts, it would be emotional gatherings where fans and artists reflect on how far they have come together. Many fans describe the anticipation as a need, not just a want. They want to stand in a stadium and hear Jungkook's voice unfiltered, to see his expression up close, and to share in a moment that feels like history. For them, attending a solo tour is not simply about entertainment. It is about bearing witness to a milestone in his life. For Jungkook, this tour would represent the ultimate test of independence. While BTS as a group has always shared the responsibility of filling stadiums, a solo tour would place the full weight on his shoulders. Every song, every note, every moment would be his. The stakes are enormous. If successful, the tour would cement him as one of the few global soloists capable of commanding such a scale, placing him alongside names like Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, and The Weeknd. If mishandled, it could create doubts about whether even the most talented K-pop idols can sustain solo tours of this magnitude. This pressure is something Jungkook is undoubtedly aware of. Yet, fans often note that he thrives under pressure. His perfectionist nature, sometimes criticized for being too hard on himself, also means he rarely settles for less than excellence. In this sense, the high stakes may actually push him to deliver the most extraordinary performances of his career, crafting the identity of the tour. A crucial question surrounding Jungkook's rumored solo tour is, what story will it tell? Tours are more than a collection of songs. They are narratives told through music, visuals, and atmosphere. For Jungkook, this is an opportunity to define his identity as a soloist. Will the tour emphasize his vulnerability, showcasing ballads and personal stories? Or will it focus on energy and spectacle, highlighting his dance-driven performances? Perhaps it will do both, creating a balance that mirrors his duality as an artist. The visual identity will also be critical. BTS tours often used large-scale concepts, mythology, philosophy, and themes of love and struggle. Jungkook's solo tour could draw inspiration from his personal journey, from a young dreamer in Busan to a world-renowned star. This narrative would not only resonate with fans, but also humanize him for global audiences who may only know him through his chart-topping hits, challenges he must overcome while excitement runs high. It is important to acknowledge the challenges Jungkook would face. Physical singing and dancing at a world-class level, night after night, is exhausting. Jungkook's perfectionism means he will push himself to deliver consistently, but the toll on his health must be carefully managed. Mental pressure carrying the expectations of millions alone can be daunting. While he has always had his BTS members beside him, a solo tour means the spotlight is his alone, both in triumph and in scrutiny. Maintaining authenticity, fans love Jungkook for his sincerity. The challenge will be to ensure that the tour, no matter how large, still feels like him. If the production overshadows his authenticity, it risks disconnecting from what fans cherish most. Why fans believe only Jungkook can do this among all K-pop idols? Why does the idea of a Jungkook solo tour resonate so strongly? The answer lies in the combination of qualities that few artists possess simultaneously: vocal power, a voice that can stand unaccompanied yet soar above live instrumentation; dance mastery, the ability to execute complex choreography while maintaining vocal stability; stage charisma, a presence that feels both commanding and intimate; global recognition, a name that transcends fandom, known even by casual listeners and global media; relatability, despite fame, Jungkook has retained a sense of humility and sincerity that draws people in. Together, these qualities create an artist uniquely positioned to carry a solo world tour at a scale comparable to the biggest names in global pop. Fans recognize this, and it is why they refuse to let the rumor fade. It feels not just possible, but inevitable.